Yeah, so obviously Wack just finds a way to be Wack. Probably got a phone call from the FBI, CIA saying, like, try and get yourself in between this deal and that. Let us know what's going on. He's got himself in this deal somehow. I don't even know if the woman that just thought, you know what, I need someone on my side. And she just like, hold on a minute, I need Wack 100. Like, what reasonable person thinks of Wack for everything? But maybe I got the cards wrong. Maybe Wack.
He is a manager though.
There we go. So maybe I've got.
He is a manager. He's a businessman. At the end of the day, bar the clubhouse shit. Are the government handing out RICOs like just to show who's the real squads and the real hip hop crews in America?
No, will it show who are the real?
Alright, will it show? Number one, yeah, they don't need the RICOs for that. The fans already know who's who in it. The fans hear the rumours, and I think, to be real, some of these feds are fans. I think what he's doing, yeah, is it's a way, yeah, to let everyone that does this type of music know that, alright, if you're gonna talk that shit and you reach to a certain level where you have influence, we will be after you. And if anything you say links up to any real crimes or anything around you has to do with any crimes, we will come after you. So these men are in a way policing hip hop music.
That's a good point.
Posted getting money on the east side. I dropped a pin and told that bitch pull up.
Machine Gun in the building. Big bang, big bang. It's your boy Bobby D the Flair. I got my guy.
Come on, Jambeezy.
Alright, we in the building, man. And fuck all the where we been, yo. What's going on with Wack and J Prince, man? What do we know thus far, blood?
Wack's a snitch.
And that's where interference came into play with this dude, Officer Rat 100. You know what I mean? A lot of interference came into place with Officer Rat 100.
What are you on?
Wack's a snitch.
Hey, what we listen? No, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna.
We do it how I want to do it. We do it how I want to do it, fam.
Bro, we ain't gonna
Wack's a
do that.
snitch.
We ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna start all of that.
That's
Let's
prime
just
right there.
let's just stick with the topic at hand. Yeah, if it leads into that, it leads into that. But what do we know thus far with the drama between Wack 100 and J Prince?
That situation there, what I know about it is the whole Larry Hoover movement's going on right now, getting free and that. So yeah, before I even say anything, free Larry Hoover and that. Definitely someone there that's
Free Larry.
Look into his story in it. That's inspiring.
Free Larry.
Yeah, the whole Larry Hoover movement, is picking up pace. Discussions about, docs and concerts and whatnot. So there's a lady, I forgot her name. What's her name?
I don't even know, but I know the lady you're talking about. The one Wack 100's basically got her back, basically.
Yeah. So she's got an interview she done with Larry, and she's trying to keep a hold of it for a bigger percentage of this movie.
But that's the thing with this movie. Are they using the whole video or just a bit of this interview?
That's something that I don't really know too much about. But from what's going on and from what I'm reading into and what you see floating around and stuff, is this interview for some reasons important to this whole movie process. So yeah, so obviously Wack just finds a way to be Wack. Probably got a phone call from the FBI, CIA saying, like, try and get yourself in between this deal and that. Let us know what's going on. He's got himself in this deal somehow. I don't even know if the woman that just thought, you know what, I need someone on my side. And she just like, hold on a minute, I need Wack 100. Like, what reasonable person thinks of Wack for anything? But maybe I got the cards wrong. Maybe Wack.
He is a manager though.
There we go. So maybe I've got.
He is a manager. He's a businessman. At the end of the day, bar the clubhouse shit.
What? Who's his
And not
biggest
all of us believe he works for the feds. But
he's a CIA.
I don't believe that.
CIA.
Innit? But you said who's his biggest artist
that's
right now. I think it might be the game still.
So I don't
But
get.
I'm pretty sure he's got other artists. I don't know all, but I know Blueface and the game for sure.
Yeah, so that's my whole point. It's not even like he's a big manager. So it's like him. He's not no big boy.
No,
manager.
he managed Ray J.
Come on, man.
He managed Ray J, bro. I think he started off with Ray J.
I don't know the backstory of Ray J and Wack, right? But Ray J is not prime Ray J anymore, innit? Let's just be Let's be
He
real.
managed Prime Ray J.
Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But what I'm trying to say is he's not that big a guy. You know what I mean? And if he was, he would have helped Ray J transition to those billies like Kim K's mum and dad got Kim K flying. You know what I mean? But that's a different story anyway.
But you're saying he just interjected himself in this matter.
Yeah, CIA told him, yeah, Ray J and that.
Right, you know what? Yeah, let's stop you there. Break down, to me, and to the audience, why you think Wack 100 is the CIA.
It's based off of the.
You can't make that claim
Let me talk.
I'm gonna let you talk, but let me just land with this. You can't make it. No, I just want to say this.
Let me talk.
You can't make a claim like that.
You've asked your question.
No, I just wanna add some extra sauce. I wanna add some extra sauce. You can't. It'll be 2 seconds. You can't make a claim like that and stick with it like it's a fact. You gotta give us something that you believe. You know what I'm saying? So tell us why you believe that.
CIA. Nah, listen, alright, cool. Like Wack 100, right? Especially after that whole Nip scenario, right? And even certain facts of it that just kind of leaked out. Whether or not, I don't follow Hassan Campbell's Patreon or anything, so I ain't got, you know what I mean? So I can't tell you what was said on this audio, like word for word, but from what was being like,
said a lot of shit.
It was a lot of shit, you know what I mean? Not even just including about Nip, long live Nip, by the way, come on, always. But not even just about Nip, but just other little parts of the conversations, the De La Hoya stuff, and it's like, bro, like, if you're saying all this stuff, yeah, and on top of that, there was a conversation apparently about, he's talking about selling straps and stuff to, you know, rivals and crip gangs and stuff. It's like,
you just verify. You're saying you haven't heard this audio yourself.
Yeah, I haven't.
Alright, cool. Continue.
What kind of fed are you, man? Yeah, I think
I gotta be mutual.
Nah, I think Bobby LaFleur is either fucking CIA with Wack or Wack's got
I gotta be mutual, but go and explain yourself, innit?
What? Wack came to your door, innit?
Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But nah, go on, let's hear your explanation.
Where was I?
You was saying what was you saying? Sorry.
So I was saying about. I was talking about selling straps to like rivals.
He sells straps to the Crips and all of that and the Bloods. Yeah, you're talking about the Hassan Campbell tape.
The tapes, the whole blackmailing thing. It's like, it's similar to the whole Jim Jones and Treyway situation where like Jim Jones is like super violating him, but then somehow he gets left out of the RICO and that. Like Wack is basically admitting to selling straps, blackmailing celebrities. Like he's saying like we've got, you know what I mean, this is what he does, and it's like what? Not nothing. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even hear. Not even. We're gonna have
You can't use a conversation that's been recorded without consent, fam, to arrest someone.
Nah, but if this is
unless they confess to murder.
This is my point, though. So
don't quote me on that.
Cool. So this is my point now. Yeah. So there has to be some kind of like certain stories, like you know how Wack was saying, this whole Nip situation is known in his ends or whatever, right? Like Wack's gonna have. There's gonna be conversations based around him, right? And police are going to be able to be, I'm not saying they're building an investigation on him, but there's going to be an investigation that should have been looked into Wack, especially the whole gang ties when it comes to the entertainment industry in California. Like there's investigations going on all the time, so it's like, why does this Wack guy just keep on skating by? And he's just known for being in the mix, you know what I mean?
Come see, come saw with that one. I don't think that's an airtight excuse still. I don't think that's an airtight excuse still.
Wack CIA.
To be calling a man a CIA and a Fed, that's a big accusation, you know. So I don't know, I think you might have to do a bit more digging. I hear what you're trying to say, but just using bare circumstantial shit when there's nothing concrete to say, you know what, Wack is part of a criminal organization that extorts people and kills people. He's just hearing like, we extorted De La Hoya, or like, bro, I heard like 3 names. I heard these extorting Wallow and Gilly and shit, but bro, that could be just him talking about them man dropping him a check or something, fam.
Can I
go and talk to me?
This is a point that isn't even being brought up right now, you know. It's just gonna go on a different tangent, yeah. But you know this whole RICO thing going on in hip hop, right? Do you think the RICOs that are coming will kind of show who's really on that street life, crud life, compared to just talking about it? As in RICOs just being handed out to certain
like it's just
labels.
party fucking favors.
Yeah, do you think it's gonna show that, you know what, like these are the real sets? Like for me, like I don't know too much about YSL as in street level, but not obviously music wise, but I didn't know they were getting down like that on the street level. Like,
If you watch certain YouTube documentaries and heard 1-2 rumors and shit, you knew alright there was beefs, but
it wasn't
the
deep for
the
Feds to be
pitch,
that.
yeah, but it's the way you gotta remember, bro. Let's say for example, you see a man, he swears at you. You approach him, you push him, you punch him, he falls on the floor. When that lands to the police, bruv, the way they break that down is totally is different, innit? You approaching him is alright, you had intent. You pushed him, that's grievous, that's that's bodily harm, blood. That's actual bodily harm. You punch him, that's grievous bodily harm. He fell to the floor, blood. That could be attempted murder, but like, bro, so fam, it's just the way they paint the picture. You knew he had a little squabble with wife and Lucci. You knew them. We didn't know maybe alright the drive-bys and the shootings was between their hoods and shit, and the young thug was getting wife and stabbed up in jail and beat up and shit. We didn't know that shit. They painted young thug to be a boss. But back to your question of are the government handing out RICOs like just to show who's the real squads and the real hip hop crews in America?
No, will it show who are the real?
Alright, will it show? Number one, yeah, they don't need the RICOs for that. The fans already know who's who in it. The fans hear the rumors, and I think, to be real, some of these feds are fans. I think what it's doing, yeah, is it's a way, yeah, to let everyone that does this type of music know that, alright, if you're gonna talk that shit and you reach to a certain level where you have influence, we will be after you. And if anything you say links up to any real crimes or anything around you has to do with any crimes, we will come after you. So these men are in a way policing hip hop music.
That's a good point.
And that's just my opinion. But back to the subjects, yeah. So Wack 100 and J Prince now. So we know the outline details. We know what's going on. We know J Prince is unhappy that Wack 100 is teaming up with this female to just gain complete access to this footage and basically run off and do his own story. It seems like the Hoover family is still fucking with J Prince. So when it comes to all of this, where does Wack 100 and this female stand, Jambi?
They're in a powerful position right now. If I was looking at it from an outside in, or even Wack's position, I'm not saying Wack's position, this lady's position, it would be, yeah, this conversation that we've got, which is our property, is important to your process. So you're gonna have to make the numbers work. You know what I mean? The bag might just have to get a little bit heavier. So they're in a strong position right now.
They're definitely in a strong position. What
I need to understand is why they can't do another interview with them. Like, I don't get it, but maybe I'm missing something out. So what you can do is just drop something in the comments. Let us know why they just can't.
From my understanding, this interview was about 15 years ago or even 20 years ago. So at those times, his security risk was maybe a bit lower. So I think now where he's in maximum security, no contacts whatsoever.
Oh, yeah,
I think it's super. There you go. I think it's damn near impossible to even get a fucking a visit with him, let alone a phone call or even an interview. So I think under the rules and the prison system they got him in right now, it's damn near impossible to even get close to this man. Long story short, the government don't want him to speak.
So basically, this lady she's got the bag. Like, she didn't know that 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when she done this thing, that it would become because we're in this point in the culture where like everything, anyone with a legendary story is being turned into a drama series.
I think she knew, to be honest. From my understanding, yeah, it seems like the family got her to do the interview, or she wanted to do the interview and asked the family's permission. It was one way or the other. And at the time when she done the interview, maybe there was nothing she thought she could do with the interview. You know, this is to my understanding. I could be wrong. If anyone knows anything else, just let me know. But so she's been sitting on this interview for a while. I think the family have been requesting access to it, or maybe they haven't. But ever since Kanye met up with Donald Trump now, they're trying to do this whole Free Larry Hoover project or Free Larry Hoover documentary. And there's parts of this interview that they want for this documentary. So ever since the whole Kanye, Donald Trump, Free Larry Hoover thing, this woman's interest is now spiked. And because she's been sitting on this footage for, like you said, maybe 15, 20 years, and now the family are reaching out to her, it seems like she wants a piece of the pie. And maybe because she can't deal with the matter alone, she's now called for the assistance of one called Wack 100, you know, to get in. So I you know what I'm saying, I kind of understand both parties, because I see it like this, yeah. If I asked someone to do an interview on for my father on my behalf, and they didn't bring back the footage, I would be a bit upset. But for the simple fact the footage has been sitting there for like 15 years, maybe even longer, maybe it might have been the other way. Maybe she might have asked them for permission to do the interview. You know what I'm saying? And she's gone and done the interview. She used her own camera equipment, her own time. She done everything herself. She got the visit herself. She had to pay for everything. So in hindsight and essence, she does own the footage.
It's her intellectual property.
Like you understand what I'm saying? So it just all comes down to how you look at it, to be honest. So I don't know. Some people say Wack is wrong, J Prince is wrong, Wack is right, J Prince is right. I think these guys can come to like a conclusion and just deal with the matter, because Wack 100 is a hothead and J Prince is a cool slick assassin. This is the case of the have you ever heard of this analogy, the unstoppable force versus the immovable object?
Yeah.
Who wins? Who wins?
None of them.
No, bruv, there's always a winner.
Who wins?
Come on, bro, it's obvious. Unstoppable force versus a movable object.
Immovable means it can't be moved, though.
Unstoppable means it can't be stopped. Really think about it.
But yeah, go on.
Everything moves in the universe, cuz.
True. True.
Unstoppable force, bruv. There you go, cuz. You understand, fam? Unstoppable force wins every time, cuz. Wins every time. So it just depends on who you think who's who in this situation. I got my opinion who I think's the unstoppable force on this one. You understand? Some people might think someone else is the unstoppable force, but I think it doesn't even have to get to that.